Hi, if you're like me, you know Brad 1986 is one of the best sitcoms of all time. So today, I thought it would be fun to pull up a chair by the campfire and rewatch the sitcom with the entire cast of then and now. I will tell you about the original names and ages of the actors and how they have changed in 2023. Okay, let's see. Oswald is played by actor Gareth Wadling. In 1988, when he was in the sitcom, he was 35 years old, and now he's living healthy at 70.
To be ashamed of, Oswald. I mean, I went to the doctors, didn't I? I didn't even tell you, I just did it.
It's difficult to come to terms with, that's all. But it's different for a man.
In the chamber. It was a moment of pure theatre.
Now, there is possibly an image of the creative arts or people in the creative industry to be...
Evelyn Boswell is played by actress Melanie Hill. In 1989, when she was in the sitcom, she was 27 years old, and now she's living healthy at 61.
Excuses, Oswald? You're always making excuses. Sometimes I think you don't want me to get pregnant. Ever?
Of course. Julie Hesmanhouse, she played Hayley.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a big responsibility, isn't it?
Massive, and also it's a very iconic relationship in soap world, isn't it? That Roy and Hayley was massive.
Nellie Boswell is played by actress Jean Bolt. In 1986, when she was in the sitcom, she was 54 years old, and sadly on September 12, 2023, she passed away at 91 in Northwood, London, England.
Yeah, and we've all had them thrown back at us. I've still got the mark.
Dear God, it's an opal.
It's okay, man, it's okay.
That's what I always thought. It would be weird for you to be directed by your daughter.
I didn't even think of you as my daughter at the time.
No, it was the director, wasn't it?
It
must be.
Lilo Lil is played by actress Eileen Pollock. In 1987, when she was in the sitcom, she was 40 years old, and sadly on December 19, 2020, she passed away 73 in London, England.
I like the flat. At least you could cook there. And there was a proper bed. Do you hear me, Freddie Boswell? A proper bed.
I hear you.
Next weekend to Boston for 5 weeks, after which I go down to Philadelphia.
Yuzo's maid is played by actor Simon Rouse. In 1986, when he was in the sitcom, he was 35 years old, and now he's living healthy at 72.
Hi.
Just in time, weren't we, Yizzle?
Yeah, just in time.
I was admiring the lock.
My boss, Mr. Happer.
We've only been rehearsing for 5 weeks.
Yes, this is Simon?
Yeah, that's right.
Simon Rouse.
Well, we'll have it eventually.
And my character is your...
Jack Boswell is played by actor Victor McGuire. In 1986, when he was in the sitcom, he was 22 years old, and now he's living healthy at 59.
She was a beautiful woman, was Sissy, called Suddenly.
Better to be called Suddenly Love than to sit there with him waggling his finger at you, though, isn't it?
It also contains that particular age group.
Exactly.
And I think people in the 80s who were my age then said, oh, it's not like the 60s. You know.
Shifty Boswell is played by actor Brian Murray. In 1988, when he was in the sitcom, he was 39 years old, and now he's living healthy at 74.
The more energy you spend jogging, the less you spend nicking things. I'm done for. Bits of me have died. My heart is pounding in my chest.
No, they phoned up and said, you know, Anna's on. Would you fancy coming on and say hello? I said, God, I'd love to.
So
Yeah, no.
My daughter, ladies and gentlemen.
Celia Higgins is played by actress Rita Tushingham. In 1988, when she was in the sitcom, she was 46 years old, and now she's living healthy at 81.
It's nothing, Joey.
Who did it?
It's my fault. I don't love him.
And that's how it sort of, he comes back one day and I say, I know you've bought the horse, I know you've done this, I know you've done that. And she really stands by her man. And
Grandad is played by actor Kenneth Waller. In 1986, when he was in the sitcom, he was 59 years old, and sadly on January 28, 2000, he passed away 72 in London, England.
Grandad! Grandad! Grandad!
Hey, I bought a ring. It's great, isn't it?
Joey Boswell is played by actor Peter Howitt. In 1986, when he was in the sitcom, he was 29 years old, and now he's living out the 66.
He can't.
Why?
He hasn't got a suit to wear.
So, what does he do?
Billy Boswell's playback to Nick Conway. In 1986, when he was in the sitcom, he was 24 years old, and now he's living out the 60.
Is he still with his girlfriend?
He didn't say. Wish he'd come home.
What do you want him to come home for? You've got your mother.
It's a daft thing to say, isn't it? Supposed to have a mother and a father.
Freddie Boswell's playback to Ronald Forfar. In 1986, when he was in the sitcom, he was 47 years old, and sadly on September 28, 2020, he passed away at 81 in England.
You, Dad? I'm a environmental hygiene operative with the Corpy. I've got a nice flat, a high-rise, on a clear day and see British Airways.
Leonora Campbell's playback to Deborah Grant. In 1990, when she was in the sitcom, she was 43 years old, and now she's living out the 76.
Company meeting's been postponed, so I won't be with you till tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening?
I'll try to get home, but if I do, I'll only have to come back again.
Can't be helped, I suppose.
I'm so sorry.
Who is your favorite character in the sitcom Brad, and what do you think when some actors have passed away? Leave your comments below this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to wait for my next videos. Thank you and see you again.